welcome back. Welcome back. I am back with part two of this Atlanta Falcons. What we're gonna call it. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it yet. Just all Atlanta Falcons edition of podcast episode 153. All right, so I'm gonna close it out with who I want to be the head coach, who I think should be the head coach. On part one, I already hit on Raheem Morris. I talked about Terry Fontenot, talked about Matt Ryan, talked about Arthur Blank. So I'm gonna close this thing out with the most important decision right now in the Atlanta Falcons organization. Who's going to be the next head coach? Who should be the next head coach? Now I don't know who going to be because I'm not in the front office. I don't have any sources in there as far as Atlanta go, the Falcons go. But I'm on board with Kevin Stefanski. Okay. I know a lot of Falcon fans I see a lot of them talking about Matt LaFleur, and they thought, it was going to be a thing with Matt LaFleur. But according to what I'm reading and what I'm getting, it looked like Matt LaFleur and the Packers are going to be talking up a new deal. I never really wanted Matt LaFleur. I had him on my list because on social media, I did put a list out. I got like two parts right now. Part one is a list of my head coaches, and part two is a list of my head coaches. And on part one, if you follow my social media, especially on Twitter, at _ Clarence Jones, you will see that I had part one. I had like 7 coaches. I think Kyle Shanahan number one. If a change of scenery was to happen, let's say the Niners would have lost to the Eagles yesterday. I think 2 was Matt LaFleur. Same thing if a change of scenery was to happen. Packers decided to move on. Then 3, I think I had Kevin Stefanski right at 3. Then I had Clint Kubiak on there. I had Mike McDaniel on there. I had Cliff Kingsbury on there. Joe Brady on there. I had a list. But then part 2, I was like, you know what? Most of these coaches probably not gonna get let go like Matt LaFleur. Even like I said, even right now, no, I don't want Matt LaFleur. I thought I wanted him. That's why I put him on my part 1 list. But I'm like, after losing that 18-point lead against the Bears, then I found out that he was on that. He was on our staff, which I didn't even know that Matt LaFleur was on our staff when we lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots 28-3. I didn't even know that. I really didn't. But I ain't checking for sure. But I was told that he was on that staff. But even now, I'm just like, nah, because he already been in that. He already been with us, and I kind of want that head coach to be like fresh, new, never been in red and black, never been with the Atlanta Falcons. And, we just got rid of Raheem, who's been with us since 2015. I'm like, do we really want to bring in another guy that been in our building before and we fail? I want somebody new. And I think, like I said, John Harbaugh is definitely a hot candidate. So on my part 2 list, I got Kevin Stefanski number 1. Like I said, and you can be able to follow this and see this all on my Twitter, at _ Clarence Jones. But I got Kevin Stefanski number 1. I got John Harbaugh number 2, and then I got 3 Clint Kubiak. So I only got 3 coaches on my part 2 list. So I'm like, I'm not about to make a whole long list, and half of these coaches gonna go probably elsewhere. But like I say, I want these 3 coaches, well, really 2 out of the 3, because I still feel like Clint Kubiak. Yes, I mean, I've seen some good things from him this season, but I don't feel like I've seen enough. You know what I mean? And I look at the Seahawks, what they did this entire season. And I'm like, they haven't really got a whole lot of points. You know what I mean? Like a lot of 8 points is just it's like low scoring. Like they win in games with a lot of low scoring. And when it comes to playoff time, low scoring sometimes ain't the thing. Sometimes you got to be in a shootout with a team. Like I say, but it's still early. I still feel like Clint Kubiak is young. I think he'll, make a good team, much better. But for us, we need somebody that's veteran experience and they known for their winning. They got a winning record. Oh, well, Kevin Stefanski, bro, he ain't got a winning record. Oh man, you just all we did with the Browns, bro. It's the Browns. That man had about 13 or 14 coaches in his 6-year run with the Browns. It wasn't a consistent thing at quarterback. I mean, he dealt with so much from the Deshaun Watson stuff to James Winston the starter. And I even think he even had a share, like on the Baker Mayfield experience. You know what I mean? And like, look what he did in 2020 and 2023. You know what I mean? Got the Browns to the playoffs. They won double-digit games. That alone makes me feel like, man, imagine what Kevin Stefanski can do with our roster. Because we got a way better roster than the Browns. Of course, we ain't got nobody that's better than Myles Garrett. But hey, guys like James Pierce and Jalen Walker, they getting there. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. Shouts out to Terry for getting us those players. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't got nothing against Terry. You know, some of those players he drafted, we did need it, but some of them can be a question mark. But definitely not Pierce and Walker. We needed those players because we needed a pass rush, and damn it, we got it. Okay, but yeah, I just think Clint hasn't shown enough. Like I say, Stefanski. What I like about Stefanski is he can put together a roster and put together some wins with almost a little bit to nothing. He could take lemons and make lemonade. If he could take lemons and make, if he took lemons, which he did, and made lemonade with the Browns and their roster and all their frustration with the owner this and the GM that, with the Shador situation I mean, Kevin Stefanski dealt with a lot, fans saying, hey, you racist and you don't want to start Shador. I mean, that man dealt with a lot and was still able to keep his composure and finish the season. He could have easily just said, I'm out of here. I resign. You know what I mean? So when I see someone that can get it done through hardships, through challenges, when things are not going well, you can still maintain a good, reputation for yourself, a good effort for your job. It shows you're a leader. You know what I'm saying? You're a leader of men. And this leader of men stuff in the NFL is starting to be a cliche, but because most people, everybody could be a leader of men in the NFL as far as these coaches go. But what draws the line is that, do you got a winning record? Do you have a winning record? What is your winning record? Do you have any awards to show? Yeah, you may have experience, but if you like damn 30-something, 50-something, do I really want to hire you as a head coach? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I like Kevin Stefanski. I just believe in his system. He's an offensive-minded type coach. He can put players in the right positions. He loves to run the ball. I can only imagine what he can do with Bijan. I'm not sure whether we have kept Algier or not, but I can only imagine, ladies and gentlemen, what he could do with Bijan. Woo! You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure what the quarterback situation. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's what worries me a little bit. If Kevin Stefanski decide not to take our offer, I hope we offer him. I really do. I'm already nervous because he did an interview with us yesterday, but he left the building. We should have never even let him leave the building. Okay. But if we offer him, I hope he take it. But I am worried if he don't offer, if we offer him and he don't take our offer, what can make me think on why he didn't do it is probably two things. Maybe he feel like he's a veteran coach, which he is, and maybe he wants some more control. Maybe he want a little bit of control, not control like how Bill Belichick wanted with us, but maybe he want to be able to pick the roster, whatever like that. And we already got Matt Ryan in place to kind of have that final say. So could that, you know what I mean? I think the job that Matt Ryan have, as far as the GM and the head coach reporting to him, I think that'll work more on a first year coach that's young, like a Clint Kubiak. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised either if we was to hire Clint Kubiak, even though he's not on top of my list. He's third on my list. Like I said, right now is Stefanski, is Harbaugh, and then it's Kubiak. But if Matt Ryan and the Falcons decide to hire Kubiak, I can see it working because Kubiak is his first head coaching job. Hey, you got to report to Matt Ryan. But coaches like John Harbaugh and Kevin Stefanski, ladies and gentlemen, I'm nervous about that. Would they be able to accept the fact that they would have to report, them and the GM will have to report to Matt Ryan? Or somebody like a Harbaugh who's a Super Bowl champion? Hey, I want full control of the roster. I want to be able to pick my GM. I want to be able to be managing the roster. And see, that's why I don't know, will it work with Harbaugh? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think a report came out saying that he's asking for like $20 million and something like 10 million or something like that for his staff. I don't know how true that is, but just going back to what I'm saying right now, could John Harbaugh, the veteran coach that he is, I think Harbaugh like 63, could he sign in on that? Hey, I got to report to Matt Ryan if I got any ideas about the roster or who I'm thinking about drafting or what I want to do with the roster, him and the GM. would a veteran coach like Harbaugh be cool with that? I don't know. Kevin Stefanski, someone else that's, he haven't been winning lately, but like I said, we all know what he dealt with in Cleveland. It was hell. It was chaos. And he still kept a professional image, reputation of himself and the team. Spoke well, never, said the right things in the press conference. Some may question and say, no, he didn't. He was wrong on how he did Shador. That's your opinion, and you have the right to have your opinion. But with Kevin Stefanski, sign on to that. I got to report to Matt Ryan. Me and the GM, we got to figure out how we going to present this to Matt Ryan. Will Matt Ryan like this? Will he support this? Or may he probably going to add his own sprinkle to it? So I'm nervous about that. So, and then another reason why I think Kevin Stefanski could possibly turn us down, decline us, because we're not set in at quarterback. We're not consistent. We're not, we don't have quarterback starting stability. It looked like Kirk Cousins probably not going to be coming back, based on that restructured contract that they did. Was it last week? Penix not going to be ready until probably maybe August. So I can see coaches just not looking at us because it don't matter who you got. You got a good running back in B. John, a good wide receiver in Drake London, good tight end in Kyle Pitts. And speaking of all those good players, we don't even know how that's going to work out. When it comes to budgeting and, if we're going to hit Kyle Pitts with the franchise tag. I mean, I don't know. We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm nervous. So that alone can make me think we're not as attractive as we think we are. All us Falcon fans, I see us on social media talking about, Matt LaFleur will be a good fit. Harbaugh will be a good fit. Stefanski will be a good fit. Yeah, all those guys will be a good fit, in your opinion. But in my opinion, I don't think so. I think it boils down to the three that I have on my list: Kubiak, Harbaugh, and Stefanski. But like I said, at the same time, I'm worried about Kubiak because he just haven't shown me enough. This 1 year, okay. All right, 1 year, okay. But I'm just still not impressed yet. You know what I mean? He only got 1 year as the OC, or 2 years as an OC. I think he was an OC in New Orleans, I think, before he got to Seattle. But I just haven't seen enough. Of course, Seahawks offense is good. I mean, I like the way I use Kenneth Turner III and Zach Charbonnet and his receivers. I mean, he does a great job, and it makes me think, man, I can do some things with Atlanta. But like I said, I can't put Kubiak over Harbaugh and Stefanski. I can't do that. But like I said, I do got Kubiak on my list as number 3, with him being above, right behind Harbaugh, and he's behind Stefanski. Okay, so my list again is Stefanski, Harbaugh, and Kubiak. But I don't know as, like I say, Kubiak. I'm sorry, yeah, I don't know if Stefanski and Harbaugh can be able to sign on board and say, okay, we're going to report to Matt Ryan. Those guys may want some control, especially Harbaugh. Harbaugh may want some control. Like, I got to be able to control this roster. I got to be the, do this, bring this guy in. If Matt Ryan say no, it can't happen. And the only way it could work is you sign you go out and sign a young first-year coach in Kubiak. Now, I'm not going to say it can't work with Kubiak because, like I said, you look at what Liam Coleman did in year 1 with the Jags. You look what Vrabel did in year 1 with the Patriots. But Vrabel, yes, it's his first time head coach, but Vrabel, no, second, because he was with Tennessee. What the hell I'm thinking? Okay. He started his career in Tennessee as a coach. But you look at Ben Johnson, Liam Coleman, Ben Johnson with the Bears, year 1. Liam Coleman with the Jags, year 1. There's some faith, like, this year 1, giving a coach an opportunity could work. Look what Liam Coleman did with the Jags just in year 1. Look what Ben Johnson did just in year 1. And then we're not stable at quarterback. Maybe a guy like Kubiak can bring in his development and help develop, whether that is Michael Penix or whoever. But that's what Stefanski does well as also. He developed quarterbacks. He improved quarterbacks. He's obsessive offense. It just wasn't able to show clearly in Cleveland because, like I said, the man went through damn near 13 to 14 quarterbacks through his 6-year run. What you expect? Okay, like serious. Like what do you expect? All right, but yeah, that's what I'm leaning on. The fantasy. Okay, but we're gonna see how this play out. That's why I kind of want to get back on air. Like I said, I haven't done a podcast episode since the 9th of I think the 10th of December, and I wanted to really talk to you about the big news in Atlanta. You know, I mean, like I said, I normally don't dedicate an entire podcast to my teams. I try to talk about other things that's not much is more popular, but I know all my audience is not Falcon fans. We're not, you're not Pacer fans, you're not Braves fans. So I don't want to hit you every day with Braves and Pacers and Falcons if that's not your teams. So I want to talk about more of a topic where we all can kind of feel and weigh in whether it's our team or not. But I could not let this pass by without hitting on what went down last Sunday. I couldn't wait to get back on air and holler at you. I wasn't waiting to Wednesday, but I'm like, nah, F that. I got to talk about this now because between now and Wednesday, something crazy else might happen. We may mess around and bring Bill Belichick back into the coaching candidacy. I hardly doubt it. I can't picture Matt Ryan talking to Bill Belichick about, hey, you got to report to me. Bill probably like, hell no, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, like, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's my choice. Like I said, I may have a part 3, may have a part 4, but keep it with me on social media. Like I say on my accounts, Twitter X at _ Clarence Jones, Instagram _ Clarence Jones, YouTube Clarence Jones TV. Yeah, just keep up with those platforms. Like I said, I'll be posting my thoughts on whatever. If something crazy was to happen when I get off air, I'll do a video about it, let you know, hey, what I'm thinking. But right now, like I said, Kevin Stefanski is number 1 on my list. I love his system. I think he can do some great things with our offense. We got Jeff Ulbrich already as our defense coordinator, so I would love to keep him. But if Stefanski or Harbaugh or Kubiak say, hey, we're going to bring in our own new coordinator, I mean, I just hope they're great, right? I just hope they're good, okay? But I'm more leaning that we're going to go offense. Like you probably noticed between my list, part 1 and part 2, there's not a whole lot of there's no defense coordinator on there. I don't have there's no Robert Salah. There's no let me drink some water. Give me a sec. And shout out to Fiji, by the way. I'm drinking some Fiji water, by the way. Shouts out to Fiji. Okay, good water, good water. But yeah, I don't have Robert Salah on my list. He's a defense coordinator. I don't have who else a hot candidate? I can't think of the name. Man, I'm having a brain fart today. What's the Vikings defensive coordinator? Oh man, I hate when I have brain farts. Oh, I can't think of his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Damn, I hate this. Is it Floors? Is it Floors? I don't. Oh, I can't think of the name. But he's a defense coordinator with the Vikings now. Oh man, I can't. I'm pissed off at myself having these brain farts. I had a brain fart with a quarter. Taylor Heineke. That's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, we brought in Taylor Heineke with the Falcons, so I had a brain fart. It just hit this now with him. And Brian Flores. Brian Flores. What the hell is going on with my brain today, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator of the Vikings. So yeah, I don't have Salah on my list. He's a defense coordinator, great one. I don't have Brian Flores on my list. He's another great defensive coordinator. I think we're going to stick with offense. And the reason why I think we're going to get an offensive head coach because we already basically paused Jeff Ulbrich from talking to the Dallas Cowboys because the Dallas Cowboys wanted Jeff Ulbrich. They wanted him bad. They wanted to talk to him. They probably wanted to hire him on the spot. Falcons like, hell no, we're going to keep Ulbrich just in case that, what I mean? But so that made me believe we're going to keep it strictly offense this time with the head coaching thing. We know we're going to find somebody that's offense minded that can put together a great system, develop a quarterback. Because right now, I don't expect Kurt to be back. I don't think Penix to be ready until August. So maybe we go out and see what Malik Willis looking like. The quarterback in Arizona, I can't think his name. Damn, I don't have a brain fart today. But like I said, a few quarterbacks may be available. Not a whole lot. Maybe, I think Daniel Jones might be available. I don't know. So I think, you bring in an offensive-minded quarterback. I'm sorry, offensive-minded coach, a head coach. You bring in an offensive-minded head coach that can really deal with all that patience and developing. And that's why, even though I want Stefanski, I'm praying that we get Stefanski. I can see us getting Kubiak because of the patience and developing of who's going to be the quarterback. Stefanski and Harbaugh, they may want quarterbacks that's ready now. Stefanski already been through this quarterback patient and who's the quarterback. This guy's a starter, that guy's a starter. He already been through that in Cleveland. Harbaugh had Flacco and Lamar for so long. Do Harbaugh really want to go back down to, a situation where you got to find a quarterback, you got to develop a quarterback, you got to wait on this quarterback to be healthy? Do Stefanski want to deal with that? I don't think so. So that's why even though I want Stefanski, I'm afraid that's why he would probably decline us. Harbaugh probably wouldn't want to report to Matt Ryan. Stefanski probably wouldn't. Maybe Stefanski probably would. But then when it comes to that stability at quarterback, that could possibly be the decline. So a guy like Kubiak, first time head coach, it would be his first time head coach. Like I say, we then comparing to what Liam Coleman did with the Jags in his year one, what Ben Johnson did in his year one, I can see Matt Ryan following that same pattern. Like, hey, what Chicago did, Then Matt Ryan's already best friend. Well, I think they're good friends, best friends. He went to college with what's the Bears GM name? Ryan Poles. Yeah, Ryan Poles. So Matt Ryan and Ryan Poles are cool. They went to Boston College together. Matt Ryan saw what Ryan Poles did as a GM, because Matt Ryan is basically a GM, but he's not really a GM. But he saw where his GM, his friend, which is a GM, Ryan Poles, did in Chicago. He brought in Ben Johnson year one, and look where they at. They in the second round of playoffs. You know what I mean? So Matt Ryan look at that like, man, and who knows? Ryan Poles probably talking about it. Man, I hired Ben Johnson. This was his first year, man. You saw what he did with us. He got us in the second round. You know what I'm saying? And we're doing great. You saw how he developed Caleb Williams? Matt Ryan may be on the other end like, yeah, I got an idea. Let me get Kubiak. Let's figure out the quarterback situation. Let's develop. And let's see what this did, because I do like what my friend, my college mate, my teammate, Ryan Poles did in Chicago with Ben Johnson in year one and developing Caleb. I think we're going to go with Kubiak. So I can see this playing out with Matt Ryan go out and get Kubiak. Even though I want Stefanski, I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Ryan decided to go the same route that the Jaguars did with Liam Coleman, the same route that his friend, college teammate Ryan Poles did as GM for the Bears, hiring Ben Johnson year one and rebuilding Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb Williams looked amazing on that field. I mean, electrifying. The dude is just tearing up on that field, and that all goes to the great hiring and trust of Ryan Poles giving Ben Johnson in year one an opportunity. So I can see Matt Ryan, because they already got the GM in place. Well, not in place, but Ian Cunningham, assistant GM in Chicago, who worked with Ryan Poles in Chicago. I can see Matt Ryan, getting good recommendation from Ryan Poles. Like, hey, Ian Cummings is a good guy. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Okay, Matt Ryan going to put him down as GM. It shouldn't be any issues with him reporting to me. He's not going to come in, hey, I got to report to you, Matt Ryan. And then on top of that, with the coaching from Ryan Poles, as far as the coaching search from Ryan Poles, giving Ben Johnson an opportunity in year one, I can see Matt Ryan going that same route. But we'll see how it play out. Like I say, if something break between now and this week, I just, like I said, more than likely, I'll just upload a video on my Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram. I'll talk about it. You weigh in, and we just go from there. Thanks for rocking with me. I feel good to be back in the studio, rocking this Falcon gear, this Matt Ryan jersey. I appreciate your support. I really had to dedicate episode 153 to my Atlanta Falcons, because news is just, it's just blowing up in NFL. I mean, my Falcons, probably your team, everybody's team just getting news, whether, from GM, coaches, players. NFL right now, this offseason, well, it's not really, it's playoffs, but these teams in the offseason, these teams that already experienced offseason, they almost, keeping this thing hot, almost more popular than the playoffs. I mean, coaches is getting fired, coaches is getting these interviews. I mean, some coaches surprisingly get interviews. News is just breaking. Okay, I couldn't miss out on this. All right, thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your support. Follow me. I'll follow you back on social media. Twitter X @ Clarence Jones. Instagram _ Clarence Jones. YouTube Clarence Jones TV. Our website playprogressgo.com. And like I said, check out playprogressgo.com. I got a lot of great things coming up this upcoming winter and heading into the spring. I don't want you to miss out. Okay. And by the way, if you're interested in working in sports, taking some courses to learn how to get involved in sports, I want to know more about the sports industry. You want a job in sports, you want to know about the jobs in sports, you want to get with a good organization, a good education institution that can help you learn about sports and how to apply yourself and get into working in sports. Send me an email. Email coachjones21 at yahoo.com. Put in the subject coaching course. No, in the subject, put in sports industry. Just put in like put in I want to work in sports. Yeah, because I'll be able to catch it like that. Just put in I want to work in sports, introduce me to, tell me your name, where you from, your experience, your resume. Yeah, so email coachjones21 at yahoo.com. And like I say, in the subject box, just put in I want to work in sports, introduce yourself, where you from, your name, your experience, your resume, your sport or sports that you're looking to work into. Holler at me and I'll send you a link to get you signed up and get you into that experience and education stage. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support. God bless you. Happy New Year. We in the 12th day of the new year. I apologize I'm late, but I want to still wish you a happy new year because it's still January and we still fresh in 2026, baby. Have a great one. God bless. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Steelers, Texans. I'm going with the Steelers. I think I picked 2016. Check out my blog. I'm going to be putting a lot of blogs up in the next few weeks. I got one out now for my predictions for the wild card. I have another one out next week about the divisional round, who I got in those. Like I said, I'm just basically blogging about who I think going to win and why I think going to win. So check out playprogressco.com/blog. You hit that, you read the president blog, and you scroll down, you hit blog, you'll be able to see all my blogs. Like I say, from all my stories. But like I say, do not miss out. Follow me on social media. Like I say, that Twitter X will always get you to my latest podcast episode and to my latest blog. Like I said, I got a blog up right now for the NFL playoffs. Like I said, I made that on Friday night. It is basically about, all the picks for wild cards. I'm going to be making another one in a few days about all the divisional picks that I'm going with for round 2 of the playoffs. All right, enough talking, baby. Go Falcons. Let's do it. Peace.